the ASMARtist. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. This is my 200th video. I don't know if that's 200 that I'm seeing or 200 that are public for you, because I've also uploaded a lot of unlisted videos that were meant for the Patreon and custom videos and stuff, but it's the 200th, at least last time I checked, which was earlier today. So I thought I would try to do something with some whispering. I'm not very good at staying in whispering. I'm very bad at it. And I inevitably slip into soft speaking right now. So maybe it'll be a little bit of both. But I also wanted to bust out the Blue Yeti, because I don't bust it out very often. And this has, I think it has better sound quality than the Zoom H6, which is right here, by the way. Well, I can't lift it up enough for you to see, but it's what's actually recording the audio after the microphone. I always use the Zoom. Great product. I wish they'd sponsor me. But yeah, the Blue Yeti sounds great. I don't use it very often. I paid $300 for this. This is the pro version of the thing. It has an XLR output, so I can record it through the Zoom H6, and supposedly that has better audio than the USB out that the microphone also offers. I don't know. I have the microphone set just because I absolutely am so mad every time I do stereo audio, even with the Zoom or the Blue, just because I feel like I end up sticking to one ear more than the other. I don't know if it's my recording headphones, one ear is maybe a little louder, and then I overcompensate to the other ear, and then actually in post, the opposite ear of what I think when I'm recording is the one that I'm in too much, because I'm overcompensating for the ear that I think it's in. Do you understand? You understand, right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. We've all been there. Literally. Every one of us has been there. Literally everyone. And if you are denying it, you're a freaking liar. Okay? It's been a while since I've done the grabs. I decided to film with a different lens than usual today. I usually film with my 16mm, which is a wider angle lens. I'm shooting with my 33mm, which is my new lens. I love this lens. It's so good. Fujifilm, which is my camera brand of choice. Of course, you know this if you've been watching for a while, because I will not shut up about them. I have a whole other YouTube channel where I basically just review Fuji cameras and lenses for Fuji cameras. It's supposed to be about photography as a whole, but that just happens to be my system. Anyway, Fujifilm released 3 lenses late last year. It was the 18, the 23, and the 33. The numbers are arbitrary to you if you don't care about photography. It doesn't really matter. All that matters is these 3 lenses, which I have the 33, the longest focal length version of it, which gives you a very similar image as to what your eye would see. So if you were standing right there about 5 feet away from me, like my camera is right now, it would look something like this. The background wouldn't be as blurry because it's a 1.4 aperture, but that's just a nice little addition. Anyway, these 3 lenses, what's so great about them is that they have linear focus, so they have very good autofocusing motors. It should keep up with my face pretty good, at least a lot better than the 16mm. Is it doing good? It keeps up, it's pretty snappy. That's actually pretty impressive, because the 16mm, if you've watched, it goes between me and the microphone a lot more, but this face detection works a lot better on this lens, because it's one of the new lenses, and I'm excited about it. It's very utilitarian lens just because of the focal length, like the 16mm that I was filming with before, which I'll still probably film with. It's more of a wide angle. It's almost an awkward focal length. It's not wide enough to do interior photography for real estate and stuff. I just tried to use it yesterday. It was not wide enough, but it's not long enough to get a flattering picture of a person In video, I guess it's fine. I'm fine with it making me look a little smaller and lankier. I don't care. But if you're doing portraits, that would not be the lens. So it's like an awkward, it's an awkward lens. This one is like, it's equivalent to, in the film era, it would be called a nifty 50, a 50 millimeter lens. It's equivalency because it's a different sensor size than full frame, which is what was born out of 35 millimeter film. It doesn't matter, okay? This has the same look as a nifty 50, which is just, you can use it for everything. It's great for, it's a much more flattering lens to film myself. It's a lot better for portraits and stuff. But it's not wide angle. And a lot of people nowadays, see, 50 millimeters used to be considered, this is an interesting conversation. I feel like I'm holding you hostage watching this video and just talking about this. Steve knows what I always do. This time it feels more like that. But anyway, this lens, this focal length that you're seeing right now, it's a little bit different because it's cropped in for video. It's a wide format, 16:9 aspect ratio. But this used to be considered the standard focal length that everybody would start off with, just because it was probably the easiest lens to make at the time when optical technology wasn't as good. But nowadays, I would argue that wider angle lenses are the norm, because a standard focal length, I would argue, is just what's available to the masses. And what's available to the masses is a focus on that. These cameras right here, which, you know, there are 3 of them on these, but the main camera with the best quality is a wide angle lens, basically a little bit narrower than my 16 millimeter that I usually film with. So I would argue that that's the standard focal length now, but I still like 50 millimeters. Let me actually try to whisper as I had promised at the beginning of the video. It feels awkward. I feel like I'm weird. It's weird when I whisper. I don't know, but whatever. I've been having a blast with this video. I don't film that often, but when I do, I try to go all out. Like I'm trying something different with the set, where instead of going up against this flat wall, it's back in a corner. And I tried to have a red and a blue light, and I was imagining for some reason that it would be like a hard line of red on one side and blue on the other. But of course they're going to blend together and make purple. I learned that in elementary school. But it actually looks really nice. It has a nice like gradient of color, which I'm into. I like it. Didn't mean to touch the mic, but then I did it on purpose so you didn't think I made a mistake. But the whole reason I started talking about lenses and stuff is because my 16 millimeter doesn't have the best focus. I'm shooting it usually wide open at f1.4. It lets the most light in, so I have to turn my lights down, but it makes the background a little shallower. But I was constantly complaining that it was missing focus, so now I might just use this thing, because this has a lot better autofocus, and just because of the nature of it having a longer focal length, the background will be blurrier anyway. I actually have this stopped down to f2, so the autofocus is even better. At 1.4, it's still pretty good, but any camera system will kind of struggle with that, because as you let more light in with a wider aperture, your depth of field becomes shallower. So that's why the background gets more blurry, but that makes the autofocus have to work harder to actually keep you in focus. It's a lot harder. And Fujifilm cameras don't have the best autofocus on the market. I knew that going into it, but they're actually getting better and better every year. And I absolutely just love the style of the cameras. They look like old film cameras and take amazing pictures. So I'm happy to wait a couple years. And if they don't make a better video camera eventually, because that's what I do, I'll just have to jump systems, but I'll probably always keep one for photos at least. Dab me up. The dab. Oh my god, you just hear my stomach? It's about lunchtime, ladies and gentlemen. King Kong. Oh. I just want to do this. I gotta come up with a different hand sound. Whether it's... Oh, there we go. Let's do some flicking. What is that? it's extra steps. Okay. Oh, it's kind of a gross sound. I'm afraid people won't like that. I could just make the tendons in my hands. Only the ring, pointer and middle finger, I can make them pop in both hands. I don't know if that's a good thing. To be honest. I just did it accidentally. It's just when I squeeze my hand in a very specific way. I'm trying to, I swear to God, I had more hand sounds in the past. Haven't been recording as much lately. Well, we can do some like painting. Where the palette is here. And the canvas is your face. I'm actually, it's not really artistic. I'm putting war paint on you. Gonna kick some ass. I don't know what I'm talking about. There we go. That's a good sound. Grab. I have to cover my face, and then it's still trying to look for my face for a second before it decides to focus somewhere else. This lens is, you notice it's more of a normal focal length when I reach out, and it's not as exaggerated as the 16 where it feels like my hand is like reaching out through the screen and gonna get you. This is just like, especially when I use an even longer focal length, it's like disappointing when I reach my arms out because the perspective of them doesn't change. It doesn't seem like they're any closer to the camera, so it just looks like I have like baby arms. But that's usually when I film with like the 56, or I should try to bring the 85 down here and just have it all the way up against the wall and see what I can do. I remember doing that up in my room, and it was just like my head in the shot. It was a lot of fun though. Anyway, guys, I think that's going to be it for this video. Actually, I noticed looking back at my videos, let me whisper at this last part because I went right back into my soft speaking usual bullshit. I noticed when I look back through some of my recent videos that I tend to film for like exactly 11 minutes. My videos are always like 11 or 12 minutes or 10 minutes. Like it's 11 or 1 minute on either side of it. It's very interesting for the most part. There's some like, shorter and longer stuff, of course, but it's just a funny trend that there's like an internal clock in my head. I've just done so many videos, and even on my other channel, my videos are like 11 minutes long. It's a camera review. It's just like something's going on mentally. I just have like a perfect clock of like videos need to be that long. I don't know. But leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below. Did you enjoy this video? Do you enjoy hand sounds? Are they nice and crisp? Do you like the whispering / soft speaking? I'll probably be doing more soft speaking, but I've had people ask since the last soft speaking video, which could have been months and months ago at this point, to do another one. So I decided to throw you a bone for my 200th video. Woo woo. And my next video, I should have an announcement at the beginning because we're about 300 subscribers away from 5,000, and I want to do a subscriber ASMR video so you guys can send in some clips and stuff. I will set up a Google Drive folder eventually, and you'll be able to submit to that. I will announce that officially at the beginning of the next video so the most possible people see it. That is all for this video. I hope to see you in the next one, guys. Peace.